Oh hey lovely lean girls, and welcome to the channel and to one of my favorite videos to film for you, which is a what I eat in a day. And I know things are looking a little different because your girl is in Cape Town and I'm so happy to be here. G and I are going to be spending the next 3 months here, and our plan is probably to never leave or go back to Joburg. So we've got a 3-month rental, and then we're going to be looking for like a more permanent stay. But for now, we're going to be here for the holidays, be here for the summer months, and the sun is already out. It's so beautiful and warm. Like even when it's 20 degrees in Cape Town and the sun is out, it's boiling. It's beautiful. Even the children are screaming outside. So let's get into today's video. I'm going to be doing a 1,600 calorie day today. As you girls may know, I'm on a small deficit now heading into summer because she's trying to get summer body ready. And I'm excited about that because I know you love the lower calorie what I eat in a day videos. When I do 2,000, no one's watching. They're like, that's not impressive, Ange. And you know I'm the queen of low calorie, high volume meals. So you bet your ass I'm gonna give you some new delicious meal inspo recipes to try today. So yes, that's a quick update on where I'm currently at. I'm trying to lose, I don't know, maybe about 2 kilos, we'll see. I'm doing it pretty slowly, and I'm also not being too strict on myself. Being in Cape Town, so many restaurants I want to try, so many days out, wine drinking. So I'm doing the slow, steady approach. I'm actually sitting more around 1.7, 1.8 on a normal day, but I decided to do 1.6 today because I know a lot of you are on that level, and I like to just show you how to really maximize those calories. It's been a bit of a transition getting to Cape Town, as anything is. I love my routine, and in Joburg, I have my routine, I have my gym across the road, and so today was the second day I went to a new gym. I didn't film anything for you guys at gym, which I know I normally do on a what I eat in a day vid, because firstly, it's a new gym, so I'm still trying to figure everything out. Guys, let me tell you a story about me at gym this morning. So second day, I'm going to Silos at Virgin Active. So if that's your gym, come say hi to me. Hugs are always welcome from Lean Girls. So I get to the gym, and part of my program that I'm doing is a squat. And there's only 2 squat machines in the gym, which is fine. Actually, my previous gym at Gold's, I also only had 2 squat machines, but both of them were busy. And so I did like 2 other exercises, and then eventually there were 2 girls, one on either one. I went up to them to be like, how many sets do you have left? And to be honest, like when people ask me that, I'm always like, no, like I'm not. But the one girl, I got to her, I'm like, this is the first one. I'm like, hi, I just want to check how many sets you have left on the squat machine, just that I can plan my workout around. And she's like, oh no, I'm still going to be here for another hour. I'm like, an hour? Phew. I literally said that. This is like the outspoken Joburg girl that's like, I don't know, Cape Town people are aloof. I don't know why, but so I'm like, holy smokers, okay. Then I go over to the other girl. I'm like, how many sets do you have left? She's like, I've got this exercise, but then I've got 1 more set, but then I'm starting another exercise also on this machine that's going to be like 8 sets. So I was like, OMG, I'm never going to get my squat. So I actually started doing it on the Smith machine, which is not the same because you don't brace your core as much as you do with free weights. But the first girl, I'm having a real old bitch now. But the first girl, she was doing a HIIT. If this girl is you watching this video, you can't do a HIIT workout where one of the exercises in your long ass routine is a row where you can get a normal barbell, which doesn't have to be on the squat machine. FYI, I kid you not, she was not lying. She was there for an hour, and it was once every 20 minutes she used just the bottom of the squat rack to hold her little barbell, which was also like super light, like 20 kilograms. Gym etiquette, people, do not hog the machine, especially if you're not, like there should be a limit. You know, like they put on the treadmills, a limit. I'm talking so much, and I promised myself that today's video was gonna be only the food, so I'm gonna shut up. We're gonna hit 1,600 calories, high volume meals, high protein, obviously, and it's actually midday now. So I recorded what I made for brekkies. So we're gonna do a bit of a rewind. We're gonna make brekkie and then I'm gonna set up here for lunch. Let's go, gal. We are starting off the morning with a good cup of coffee. There's no other way to do it. So I'm starting off with this almond and oat mix by Almond Breeze, which I just absolutely love, and an espresso pod. I actually like to do decaf first thing in the morning, and then I save myself for my caffeine, either if I'm doing pre-workout or I do a little shot of coffee before I hit the gym. Apparently having caffeine first thing in the morning actually makes you crash later on. So if that's something that you're experiencing, you can try out not having caffeine first thing. Then I headed to the gym. Now we're back for the start of the day, which is brekkie, and we are doing a savory one. You girls know I love my sweet oats, which I have almost every day, so I wanted to try something different today. And so we're gonna do a yummy savory breakfast bun. And so I'm using this round cut bacon that you can get. It's the Escort brand, and I got it at Checkers, and it's actually the leanest cut of bacon. As you can see, the medallions are really nice and lean, and it's still got that beautiful smoky bacon flavor. And then also popping on 1 egg onto the pan. For my eggs and for the bacon, just non-stick spray, pop them on, and Bob's your uncle. You don't need any oil or anything like that. And then I'm doing a seeded roll here, and instead of butter I always use non-fat cottage cheese, and I find that that's perfect. And here I am trying to cut a tomato with knives that I don't know, so did a very stellar job on that. And then you just want to pack on a little bit of baby spinach, which I love the flavor of, and it just adds a nice fresh crunch for breakfast. And don't forget to always season everything as you go. This makes the biggest difference to your food. And then we're going to pop on our lovely little crispy bacon medallions and our gorgeously cooked egg, if I do say so myself. You can see that yolk is just ready. And then top it off with some of this everything but the bagel seasoning. Pop her on. And there you are, your beautiful, delicious lean girl breakfast bun. Okay, girls, it's time for lunch. I have a small problem. And my problem, it's only a problem if you want to stop, right? I'm going to show you, I actually got a delivery yesterday from my best friends. Let me get it. I'm going to show you this before lunch. Ta-da! Can you see that? It is all of the sugar-free monsters, and some of these flavors I haven't tried. So I'm very excited. But girls, I wouldn't recommend drinking these every day. FYI. Maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Treat yourself to some anxiety and caffeine. Okay, lunch today is going to be a quickie, because I know you girls like that. I actually made this once in Joburg before I came here, and I was like, this is my new favorite thing. Firstly, because it's super quick for lunch. Secondly, where have corn thins been my whole life? Like the cheesy corn thins. Basically, you don't need to put cheese on your little sandwich because the cheese is already there. So let me show you my new favorite quick and easy lunch. This is also a nice one for load shedding, by the way, because you don't have to toast anything or make anything. But today I actually try to order the sliced chicken. I don't know what's up with my orders these days, but only half of them come. I try to get the sliced chicken, which is already cooked, but I don't have that. So I think that I've got some chicken breasts in the fridge. So I think that we'll whip those up, and then I'm gonna use that on our little corn cakes. Let's eat food. Let's get the lunch party started. This is my new favorite lunch, and I think I've had it on repeat for 5 days this week. It is some yummy chicken corn cakes, and this is a fabulous low-calorie lunch that is super quick to make. You can actually use salad ingredients instead of cooking mushrooms and tomatoes to pop onto your rice cakes if you are, for example, at the office and you're not able to actually use a pan, or maybe you have load shedding. But here we go. I'm making some mushrooms and some tomatoes. And what's nice about this is you can also make a couple different batches. So you can make a whole lot at once, and then you can save your tomato and mushrooms, and you can also add some onions if you like. I actually use this combo for a lot of my burger dishes as well as my buri rolls. So I love to have mushrooms, onions, and tomatoes that are cooked and seasoned. You can honestly throw it on anything and it just levels up the flavor. And then for the chicken I'm using today, I have a small obsession with these pre-marinated chicken breasts from Woolworths. And once you actually cook them, not much of the marinade stays on it. So the calories aren't super high. They actually seem pretty low on the packaging, but that's Woolworths for you. And so I'm just cooking up my little chicken breasts, and I like to score them, which helps them to cook quicker in the middle. So I just do little slits on them, and then we're gonna let those cook away on the stove. And then to top our rice cakes, I use cottage cheese as well as my favorite sweet chili from Lifestyle Foods, which you get at Discount. And I honestly use this sauce on everything as well. So you mix the two together, and then you're gonna pop them onto your corn cakes. These are the corn thins with the cheese flavor, which are so delicious. I honestly could just eat them by themselves because they have that yummy, it's almost like that knick-knack cheese flavor that's already on them. So you don't need to add any cheese to these little corn cakes because they've already got that on. And then adding just a few pieces of baby spinach as well, which is just a nice little crunch. And spinach has a lot more nutrition than lettuce does. So where I can, I'll try and go for spinach instead. And I actually enjoy the flavor as well. And so then once your mushrooms and your tomatoes are cooked, you are just gonna pop them on top of your little rice cakes. And then once your chicken is done, you can also just slice it up. These don't take long to cook at all, maybe about 10 minutes in total, 5 minutes on each side. And then you are just gonna slice these babies up and then pop them onto your lovely little rice cakes. And there you have lunch, girls. Hey darlings, and welcome back. It is afternoon snack time. I usually have 4 meals a day. So I have breakfast, I have lunch, and then I have an afternoon snack, and then dinner, and then normally like a smaller dessert. Like when I was bulking or maintaining, I had a bigger dessert later on at night. But now I'm keeping it small, but still having a little sweet treat after dinner. But I love afternoon snack time, and I normally make it something sweet as well. You girls know I have a sweet tooth, so I definitely am more sweet than I am savory. So we're gonna do an interesting one. It is gonna be like a custard all bran. I don't know if you call it a parfait when it's in layers, but we're not doing fruit in it. But it's like, do you know the overnight wheat bix everyone was doing? This is like an all bran version because all bran is so much better. Like, let me know down in the comments, are you team all bran or team wheat bix? I don't know if we're gonna be friends if you say wheat bix. Might still love you, but all bran is so much tastier. So yeah, I'm excited for this recipe. And before we get into it, a couple of things. I love to share a couple of tips even in these what I eat in a day videos. So key when you are trying to lose fat is to, number one, eat enough protein. When we are trying to lose fat, we want to maintain as much muscle as possible. If you just lose weight, and which is a combination of muscle and fat, you end up a saggier, softer version, even though you're smaller or lighter on the scale. So we want to maintain as much muscle as possible, and protein is going to help you get there. Number two, your meals need to be tasty, which I hope I show you in these videos, that it is not about having like 3 meals a day of chicken, rice, and broccoli. You can eat really insane, delicious meals that taste like indulgences or treats. And that for me is so key. And what I preach to all of my girls, if you love your meals, You do not need willpower and discipline to stick to your diet. And that leads me to number 3, is that if your meals are satisfying and high volume, so big enough meals, you also are not feeling hungry. Like, hunger is the enemy of willpower, right? When you're hungry, you don't tend to make very good choices. So the key is to the key here is to really help keep that hunger at bay and eat delicious, full, satisfying, high protein meals. Remember that all the recipes that I do, including all of the ones that I do today, are inside my Lean Girl Kitchen Coach. That's my ultimate recipe hub, meal planning tool, specifically for South African girls. I use only South African ingredients. For the girls who are overseas, it is stuff that you can find elsewhere. Cottage cheese, chicken, obviously it's not going to be the exact same brands, but if you're South African, it was made for you. So if you love these recipes, you can go and check it out there. And so let's get into afternoon snack time. Let's get into the recipe. So we're starting off with some all bran, 40 grams here. All bran's actually pretty low in calories. I don't know who gave it a bad rep, but people always message me to be like, is all bran bad? I'm like, no girl, you get that all bran. And then I just added some milk and some sweetener as well as some cinnamon. And then here is the secret ingredient for this one. So we're using cottage cheese. If you have thick Greek yogurt, you can use that too. But the secret is this custard syrup, which you can get from Discam, which transforms anything into the most delicious custard flavor. I also use it in my oats. So you can pop in sweetener there, but try and get the custard syrup if you can. And then what you want to do is you just want to mix your all bran mixture around so that it becomes kind of soft like a porridge. And then you are going to layer it in a cute glass. So starting off with your all bran at the bottom, then you're going to do one layer. That was very cheeky that I licked it like that. And then you're going to add another all bran layer, and then you are going to add again another layer of your custard yogurt / cottage cheese. I really don't mind the flavor of cottage cheese. Some people are like, it's way too salty, but if I add sweetener to it, it's perfect. It's pretty much like yogurt. But here in Cape Town, they don't have the gourmet Greek. I need to write them a strongly worded email to let them know that they better bring it here, because I'm seriously missing my gourmet Greek yogurt. Okay, and then you want to top it off finally with one layer of cottage cheese right on top. And then we are going to finish it off with a little crunch on top. I'm using these sugar-free Goulion biscuits. You can really use any ones. These are just the ones I happen to grab. And then you are going to break it up and dust it on top for that delicious little crunch. And honestly, this is like 250 calories and it feels like a total dessert. And it's high protein and it's going to keep you pretty full. There we go, sweet afternoon snack coming right up. Hello darlings, welcome back. We are on to the last meal of the day. I just had a wonderful walk with G on the prom. Something else I just love about Cape Town is it's so easy to just get outdoors, have that like full stop at the end of your day, just get out, move your body. I obviously do my training sessions in the morning, but from sitting the whole day, like today was a bit different because I was cooking a couple of things and I was moving around a bit more, but normally I sit all the time. So another tip when you are in a deficit and you are trying to lose fat is to try and get your steps up. Don't kill yourself to try and get them, because like 1,000 steps only burns, I don't know, like an extra 50 calories. So it's not a massive amount, but if it's easy for you to get some more movement in, definitely recommended. Are you ready for dinner? I kept to my promise today because I didn't do any long talking in between my food shots. And I hope you're also loving the bright light. I've been so excited to shoot stuff in this kitchen because normally in Josie, my kitchen is pretty dark and I have to use like a lot of lighting, and natural light is always best when you're shooting food. So I'm very excited about all the little clips from today's video. So we're gonna get into dinner, which is gonna be a really quick and easy one. We were supposed to have load shedding tonight. So I was trying to scheme like what could I make that was load shedding friendly, but luckily there's no load shedding, it was suspended. So I've actually been wanting to do these tacos, like a beef taco with these low carb wraps that I got them from Checkers. They're so good, like my favorite wrap. And I don't love them specifically because they're low carb, but they are high in protein. That is why I love them. So this is a super quick and easy recipe. We're literally just gonna need one pan, and that's it. So let's get into the last, actually it's not the last and final meal, the second last meal of the day. Dinner time. We're starting off with these low carb wraps. I like them because they are higher in protein than your regular wraps, and we also get 2 for the price of 1 because they are a little bit smaller. And if you have a gas stove, by the way, you could definitely make this recipe during load shedding, which is also pretty cool. Unfortunately, I don't have a gas stove here, but thankfully in Cape Town, load shedding is not as bad. So what you want to do is you want to grab your little wrap, and here is a nice little trick as well. So these ostrich burgers are pretty much 1 portion of ostrich mince. Hey! So even if you don't want to buy a whole thing of ostrich mince, if you buy the burgers, it's also nice to just defrost 1 patty and you can use it as a mince. And they've also added some flavors and spice into them, so I find them more tasty than your regular ostrich mince anyway. I'm sure they have a bit more fat in them, but they're pretty damn tasty anyway. And then we have been heating up our pan in the meanwhile. And before we pop them on the pan, obviously give them a good season, and then drop your tortilla down onto the pan with the mince side down. You can then go ahead and prep whatever other ingredients. I like to use some shredded lettuce here. Butter lettuce is my favorite. I feel like it still has some flavor. Do not give me iceberg lettuce. I just cannot do it. Like when restaurants come at you with that iceberg lettuce salad, I'm like, people, do not bring the iceberg. Okay, and then your mince should basically cook on the one side, and then you're gonna flip it over and get your tortilla to crisp up on the other side too. And then once both of them are done, I added some of the basil and tomato pasta sauce from Woolworths, which is my favorite. It's really low calorie and adds a fab amount of flavor. And then went in with the lettuce, and then I'm using one of these little Baby Bell cheeses as well, which is a nice single portion of cheese. I normally do my mature cheddar, but I didn't have any, so this cheese would do. And then you are just gonna pop those little pieces of cheese into your lovely taco. It's transformed from a tortilla into a taco. And there they are. And these tortillas also get super crispy, which I love. And there we have dinner. And you know, your girl has to end off the day with something sweet. So I'm having the low-fat frozen yogurt. I always fight for the chocolate flavor. And then I found these 99-calorie protein bars by USN, which are also pretty yum. And there you go for the full day of eating. Okay, darlings, that brings us to the end of this full day of eating. I hope that you loved it. I put all of the calories and macros out because I know you girls love to see that. Remember, when you are trying to lose fat, the key is to be accurate on your calorie tracking. Make sure that you count all the licks, the bites, the tastes, the snacks, put everything in there. I've been using my Net Diary, which I know everyone was like, why did you leave MyFitnessPal? It was like a breakup moment. But I actually just find I wanted a change, and my Net Diary has some other really cool features which I've been loving. So if you haven't tried it out, a nice one. Otherwise, MyFitnessPal, if you've got all your stuff in there, it might be easier to just stick to that one. I know that they changed some features, which is annoying. I think the barcode scanner is now a paid feature, so people were in an uproar about that. But I hope that you loved the video. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do more what I eat in a day videos along this little fat loss journey that I'm doing. And I'll also do a body update in my next video so that you guys can see how I'm progressing and what results I'm getting from a pretty mild deficit. Honestly, if you stay consistent, even if your deficit is small, you will lose fat. So I hope that you loved it. Thanks for joining. Please show the channel some love with some comments, some likes. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done it. That's it, darling girls. Sending much love, and I will see you back next week on the Lean Girl YouTube channel.